Alright, so I'm going to be playing MapLab's number 9, which is called Back on Track, in which each entry has to have backtracking in it, of course. And I'll be doing a video per entry, and I'll be rating each one of these entries out of 8 at the end. And these videos will hopefully help the creators of these levels, as well as some people who may be watching who may want to create a level themselves, and this might help kind of point in the right direction some of the stuff that will help you with your level design. So, here's the first entry called Dihydrogen Monoxide. Alright, I loaded this one up a bit earlier just to check it out.
Hey you with the brown hair and glasses. What do you think you're doing skulking around the plant? Get lost! Wait a minute. Holy shit, you're Gordon Freeman, ain't ya? Rebels told me you were coming, but I didn't think you'd make it. Well, I'm a bit stuck after the Combine raided us not too long ago. Power's been failing too, so I'm trapped in the control room. I can buzz you in through the side door since the front's jammed. Once you go in, go to the elevator and restart the generator down below. Then, you can come back up and kickstart the water turbines to start power again to the whole facility.
Okay, I think I got that. Go to the elevator, that'll take you down to the generator, and then you go to the water turbine. Right. It's good it's delivering the message through actual dialogue, you know, and I can kind of get a kind of sense on the kind of quality of map here, so I think it's actually quite good in that regard that it's been delivered through the world instead of some game entity, which I like. And we've got our buggy outside. It'd be nice to have a soundscape here just to make it feel like, well, make it feel less empty, because at the moment I'm getting this very empty feeling with the environment, but even just having that sound of like the shore or whatever would greatly benefit it. So we're going to go down, I presume, here to what I think he mentioned, the side door. And we've just got given the crowbar. Oh. Anything in here? Doesn't look like it. I'm guessing we have to get one of these. No? Oh, do we have to? I think we're going to have to push the barrels, I think, to get up there, which would make sense. It's slightly fiddly, but not too much, and seeing as these are the only other entity in the room, or the only other props, that would yeah, make sense. So it's a bit of a stacking puzzle, but a slightly more, you know, it has more depth to it than just pick up the barrel and move it, which I like. I was half expecting this guy just to jump up, and maybe he will. I hope not. Oh, I think this is the front door. That would make sense. So, one thing, unless all of these doors are at some point going to be used, which I don't know if they will or not, I have, you know, it's a mistake that I have made in the past is putting handles or doors with handles on them when you can't access the area behind the door. So say, and I don't know because I've not played this, but if there's nothing behind this door, have a door in which it doesn't have a handle, just to save players from doing what I just did and go down. And again, I've been guilty of that in the past in things like Cosmonauts. I put there was some doors, in fact I think there probably still is.
Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. I think you might have flipped a breaker or two. You're gonna have to manually restart all three of the generators now. Just one door should be open as an emergency precaution. Just figure out which one that is and get going.
Also, do I actually have to go up and do what I just... Oh, no, there we go. I thought it meant one of the doors up there. And what was I saying? What was I saying? Well, yeah, so it's good that down here you kind of had the whole lights out kind of thing. I mean, not the most original, but it's very, very good. I actually think back at Christmas time I made audio kind of prefab to make someone's voice sound like it was coming out one of these speakers. So having something like that on the voice would actually greatly enhance the environment. Not that I'm saying it's bad at all, it's just it would make it sound a lot more in line with what you would expect to come out of the speaker. So I'm guessing we have to find the last lever. Nice hidden pickups behind the crates. I'm not too keen on how small all these areas are, and the dimensions are very compact. I think even having just even a little bit of space, because obviously we came out here like that. Now, there's not really very much reason to force the player to these pickups. In fact, you'd be better forcing the player the way they were supposed to go and have the pickups on the other side. But even then, I would move I just move these crates forward, that way a bit, just to give more room. And we have a crate sticking into the wall. This is crazy. Again, I understand kind of the level of mapping that is being done, and I'm trying to be as helpful as possible in regards to kind of the level of mapper. I'm seeing it within the context here. Again, without soundscapes, unless they're broken for me, I have no idea. Maybe there are and they're just not working. But the map feels very empty now. Why did we come up here? Right. I would maybe put that in a more visible position. I mean, I found it quite quickly. I'm not sure if anyone else would. It doesn't seem very intuitive to break the boxes and then have it maybe sitting underneath one of these wooden planks. I guess they all disappear eventually. But even just have like a little bit more light than is present at the current time. Okay, I guess it doesn't really have an animation. So, these zombies, the fast head crab zombies, or whatever you want to call them, were really designed for wide open outside areas. Now, if you go back and look at Half-Life 2 episode 1 and 2, and all of the Half-Life 2 games, there will be occasions you will see them inside, but the indoor areas are very, they cater for them in terms of they're wide enough, these zombies can be used to their full potential. It's not a very small enclosed area such as this. This is very small, and there was nowhere else I could go. They weren't being used to their full potential. If you really want to use them, it'd be great to have a more open area. Now, they are 10 times better than normal zombies.
Hey, you did it! Power's coming back online. We just got 2 more generators to start, and you're good to go.
Okay, that's fine.
shoot. This room's completely flooded. Ah.
Oh, I hadn't
You
noticed.
open the door with the water pressure. Even if you could, all the water would probably electrocute you the moment you turn the generator on and fry you. You're gonna have to go down to the main water treatment room and find a way to drain the water.
Right, so with that bit of dialogue, the mistake that was made is not telling us where the water treatment room is. Now, the likelihood is it's very obvious, and we're going to find it within the next few seconds. I think. I hope. But we've got told where to go. But it feels like... Because the whole turning on the generator thing... I get that. I understand that. But I don't understand the whole water thing. Well, I do. We've got to drain the water now. I'm presuming it's through here. Or down here. But in that context, it would have been good to tell the player where it was. Right, so I guess we're going to have to... Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, this location isn't very believable. I'll go and check that one in a minute. I just want to check this door first. Oh, is that back up to the water? So if I open this... Oh, I can't. Yeah, I thought the water would come, you know, seeping through. That would have been fun, but then probably not very possible with Source. Again, I feel like the areas could be so much bigger than this. The map is very claustrophobic in terms of battling this guy. This guy, he can throw these head crabs, you know, a really far distance. So it's good to make use of that if you want to include it. So what did we come up here for? I'm guessing that did something, but I feel there should be something signaling that you've done something. So every time you do an action, you need to give the player feedback. You need to say, right, you've pushed the button, you've achieved your goal. Now you need to, show that, or whatever. Do whatever you need to do. So for this, usually it's a sprite, like a green sprite to show there's a button here. Often it's better to actually add a button with a green sprite, a button and a green sprite. But also here, something like a monitor showing the water draining is often done in a lot of mods, and which is good because it shows that you are achieving what I think is what we've done. I think. Again, I could be completely wrong about this. Right, yeah, so we did drain the water, as I expected. Slowest door in the history of doors.
Nice. One more to go and you should be able to come back up here and restart the main water turbines to power the rest of the facility.
Alright, this ladder doesn't seem to want to negotiate being climbed, so I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Probably, to be honest, using boxes and crates to stack, obviously static ones that can't be broken, is far better than using ladders. That's the conclusion I've kind of come to.
I can hear a whole lot of things scratching and skulking around in the dark though, so be careful, please.
Alright, I'm ready for some fight. So the combat's not very fun in terms of, you know, you like, the zombies are just there when the door opens. And I feel, you know, he's just standing there. There's no challenge. There's no, I don't know what you would say. But often in these dark situations, so think to the. Oh, hang on. I'll wait.
Idiot doesn't suspect a thing.
I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, if you think back to the elevator part of episode 1, when it's all dark and it's supposed to be scary and it's, you know, moderately intense when you're trying to fight off. They're coming from all different directions. They're not all just there. You push the elevator button, everything goes dark, and it feeds you the zombies one at a time. And there's a nice wide open area, so it can use fast zombies, the zombine, all that kind of stuff. But in this scenario, it's just, you know, they're there as soon as the door opens, like that. Oh, I thought he jumped out. Oh, I missed.
Warning. Blood toxin levels detected. Medical system.
So, again, I would say with the combat, including this guy with normal zombies, or head crabs, I guess I'll say, actually it's quite effective because these guys take you right down to 1, you know, HP basically, and normal head crabs take off very little health. I'm not sure how much exactly, but usually normal head crabs aren't that deadly, but they are when these head crabs are around. So it's
Did it. You restarted the third generator.
both of them
I knew you could do it.
together
Elevator should be
make a
powered.
great
Go
team.
Back up and restart the main water turbines now.
Okay, and it's good that he's reinforcing the objective. Okay, so that door did open. That door didn't. Neither did that door. Neither did that door. I was going to comment on the stairs, but I'll leave that for now.
You're a real fool, you know that? I wish I could be as gullible as you, doing anything anyone tells me to do. You know, the Combine put a hefty price on your head for me to lay this trap down for you. You just fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. As for me, I'm gonna be living like a king for the rest of my days. Have fun.
I get the impression that twist is supposed to be a lot more powerful, but to be honest, I think I just took it for granted that this is what these kinds of maps do. Now, you may be thinking, Dolmo, didn't you not say that these doors should have no handles? And I actually still stand by that, in that what you could have done is, when the player is down here, just outright remove the door and had them just there, because that would have been far better than having this door like blocking the corridor, like especially such a narrow corridor. I think it would hugely benefit the map in that regard. And they do all open, so I was wrong initially. Although the one that we came through that was open is now not open. Again, that's something to avoid. But the fact is, they just block, or this one just blocks the player. So, oh, second map, can't wait, cannot wait. Okay, here we are. I was going to mention stairs. Stairs are usually, I think it's 12 by 8, 12 long, 8 high. You do get variations of it. I have used different variations, at least if we're talking. Okay, that's the ultimate no. That's the ultimate do not do that in a map. Again, I understand the level of map that this is. And I will try and present a solution to this. So, again, the problem here is the enemies are just there as soon as the player enters the area, and the areas are too small. If the areas on the rooms were bigger, you could have them further away from the player, so when the player entered, they had more time to find somewhere to hide, they had more time to take up a vantage point. But also having the Combine coming into the area, similar to the water back there, is probably a slightly better solution. So, or have both of these solutions together. So don't have the Combine standing right there as soon as the player enters the area, and also make the areas much bigger. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not talking complete nonsense. Alright, again, needs feedback.
Oxygen breach. Airwatch, augmentation force, dispatch and inbound. Hold for reinforcement.
Alright, so we will continue on. Again, this door just opens. It's not connected to anything. Just by the button, by pushing the console. Oh, now that's good to an extent. Although they are still there, but I can see them. I think they're going to just push. That wasn't too bad. They're not doing too bad in terms of staying back. Oh, it's so difficult to see the crosshair. Oh no. Alright, that was the boss fight. It was very... Well, I don't know. It was decent in terms of having a nice wide open space, but he was too close. Having one of these, these guys quite far away, helps a lot. There was only that one where it started circling around him because of how buggy these weapons are. That really had a problem. I'm guessing we go into... Okay. They just appeared out of nowhere. Wow, that echo. Don't know if we're supposed to just jump and end, or if we've got to go through the classroom. Was that window there before?
Minor laceration detected.
Seem to be stuck on something. I want to know what happened to that guy. The guy who was taunting us. Was that the guy who was lying in the upstairs office? Alright, so overall, that map was very well set up with the voice and the the way he spoke to you to present the premise of the map instead of text on screen or whatever. It was very... It had a few good ideas in there with the barrels, and it was, even though it was a stacking puzzle, it was a slightly more unique stacking puzzle than we normally see. The environment didn't look very convincing or feel convincing, because I think it's one of it's one of the mapper's first maps, I'm guessing. The combat could be really fixed up in terms of having bigger areas and less of enemies standing just immediately behind the door as the player enters. It wasn't bad, the whole start the generator things, but it got very tedious quite quickly. Overall, the premise of it and the fact it was set in a small area was good, but the area was just too small. If I was to rate it out of 8, I would rate the map, or the entry, I guess, because it was 2 maps. I would rate it, I'm going to have to say a 3. Yeah, I'll say a 3, but hopefully I've outlined everything well that needed fixing, and hopefully it helps, and things can be learnt from it.